Hello Marvel Heroes fans, let's do a guide on Cosmic Gate. Now, Cosmic Gate is a new feature being added onto the game, so before you could go into the Cosmic Patrols, you must pass a test. So in this test, you must defeat 2 bosses and without defeat. Now, well, just go through some true story, right? Because I have maximum Omega points, I have all the upgrade receipt and so on. So, you know, if you were to ask someone like me, how's the gate like? I would say, yeah, I mean, you know, that's pretty fun, although it's a bit of time wasting for me. But I do hear a lot of story around me. So, you know, for example, my wife, she loved to play Rocket Raccoon. And, you know, she played the game from launch till now, but she only have less than 1,005 Omega points. So for all intent and purposes, she's very much just cruising in this game, enjoying the aspect of it. And you know, she was with me on all those Cosmic Patrol, no problem through it, you know. And suddenly the gate is up, so she has to go through her roster to see which hero she can bring through the Cosmic Patrol. So you know, she went in with Rocket Raccoon first time, no problem, went out okay. Then went in with Hulk. It was kind of difficult, and I was just looking from my PC to hers, and sort of like, you know, looking at how she tackled the whole thing. And her Hulk is sort of like, you know, all geared up and, you know, ready to go. Her Hulk has been, you've seen it on my video as well. Her Hulk has been doing Cosmic Patrol really nicely. And guess what? She just couldn't pass for a couple of times, but she went through it on her own. You know. Eventually, and after that went to Thor, and Thor got her stuck, so I have to give her a lot of pointers and so on and so forth. And in the end, you know, we all went through that, but I do feel the pain. I do feel that, you know, this is not an easy task. I can relate to what some of you are facing. So that's why I would like to make this video, just to help you all. And I've also received a lot of requests, you know, not just now with the Cosmic Gate, even with Cosmic Patrol and so on, a lot of friends asking me, you know, take a look at my gear, see what's the problem and so on. So I've done a lot of analysis or, you know, diagnosis with my friends, and I would like to share with you here as well, so that, you know, a broader audience can sort of like, you know, benefit from it. And and also, you know, our super group has friends in it, and they were like talking about some of this experience they have with the Cosmic Gate. So, you know, it is hard. I do not deny that. Even I'm a veteran, and you know, I can relate to it. And it is hard because of a couple of things, right? The first thing is that that is the only content in this game whereby zero defeat play style. Now, you can't find anything in this game that is, you know, that you cannot defeat, right? I mean, Cosmic Terminal, if you get defeated, you can get up from the door again, go back in again, right? Cosmic Patrol or Patrol, you can do the same thing. Story mode, no problem. You know, it's unlike, like, say, Diablo 3. If you have played those games before, this is a very standard feature, right? So you can't get through a boss, you can't play the next part of the game. And a lot of video game plays like that. But in Marvel Heroes, it's meant to be a very accessible game. You know, people can enjoy. Raid has like 30 chances within the whole group. So zero defeat is not a playstyle that many people are, you know, accustomed to. Just to share with you my example is that when I started playing this game, you know, there were some artifact that reward zero defeat. The artifact that is very powerful, but as you gain defeat counter, you know, the benefit will diminish by 10%. Back then, I mean, I play all my hero in a very careful way. When I level my hero, when I did my red terminal, I try not to die there, because, you know, it will affect all my artifacts. And that kind of training is from the beginning, when you have to be careful, observe what's around you, whereby, you know, defeat means something. So it is hard because not many people are very used to that kind of requirement. And to be very honest and fair, I played all 49 heroes. Most of them are geared. You saw my guys and so on. I can tell you honestly, not all the heroes are awesome, all right? And there are some heroes that can pass the test rather easily. And you know that. Summoner, you know, you can throw them into this cosmic trial, they close one eye and it's done, right? Scarlet Witch, go in, all sorted. But there are some heroes that doesn't have much area damage, only good at single target, and could be quite fragile as well. So where do they lie? You know, so that is a problem of this game. they're introducing a gate before all the hero become awesome, right? So we are not there yet. Heroes still going through a unit review. Some heroes not even having a 52 review yet, right? So that is a true fact, right? So it can be hard. And then after that, a lot of people, start to pinpoint like Omega points, hero synergy, gear. To be honest, it all matter. People can argue the whole day long, right? Say, oh, you don't need that kind of Omega points. But it depends on which hero you go in, right? If you play a summoner, oh, well, yeah, maybe you don't need any Omega points. But if you play a melee hero that doesn't really have a lot of area damage, so what do you rely on, right? So all these things matter. If you are veterans, you will store a lot of gears, you will store a lot of Omega points, you will store a lot of hero synergy, right? So that is a very good advantage towards the new players, which is therefore I'm making this guide. Hope to help some of you who are new. And do pass it along as well if you find it useful. And then there are category of casual and a more serious player. Now, not everyone. I mean, I know a lot of you, watch my video, but to be honest, not everyone enjoy the kind of like maximizing everything. Like I must find a build that do the most of. I must follow this rotation, so on and so forth. No. A lot of people I talk to, a lot of my friends, they don't play that way. They play just for fun and for relax. They let their kids run the Scarlet Witch with 2 buttons and have a good laugh with it. And they themselves, like some of my friends are just like I max all my basic because it's so easy to manage. No spirit issue. I don't need to use med kit all the time. Can they? I mean, there are people like that, right? I mean, there are players like that who are not that serious and prefer to be more casual. So I'm hoping to give you some pointers on this one. Why it can be hard and why it can be a debate. Like you can see one camp saying that it's so easy. It's not even representative of the whole cosmic patrol. While the other camp may say, well, no, it is hard, right? So just give you some perspective here. Why am I doing this? Is that sometimes we have to get over our psychological barrier, right? Because when you hit a brick wall, in anything in life, not just in this game, in life as well, when you hit a brick wall, you get demoralized. You feel not happy, not great about it. So the first step usually to address this is to accept the fact, because all these are facts being laid out. Nothing about you, as whatever player you are, nothing about how good or bad you are, or gears that you have not. I mean, first of all, you must accept that, okay, this is a test that everyone has to go through now, right? There's no turning back. Gazillion has taken that step towards a new direction in the game. So we all have to either quit the game or go along with it, right? So that's the first thing to accept, adapt to this new challenge and adopt a new strategy. So that's always I've been trying to say, right? So just be aware of all these things that happen, but that's not the end of the world. I've seen it work before. So, just to remember, time to kill. A lot of my friends are very much into time to kill, right? So you sometimes you even deviate from the guide that I have, which is great, and use some of the unique that give you extra damage, but you lose out on thousands of health, like Psylocke's gear, for example, is a good example, because a lot of people ask me, how come your Psylocke has like 25,000 health or whatnot? I'm only having 16,000 health, right? If you bring a hero that's 16,000 health into Cosmic Patrol, it's going to be hard. And because you're using a gear that gives you a slightly more advantage in your DPS, but you lose up 2k, health and so on, or even 3k, there's a lot of health that are missing, and therefore this video I will address time to kill, but more so I would like to talk about time to live. So I can help you here with the following things, right? So I'm going to walk through the encounter because I think put all the emotion aside. I know some of you may be very disappointed right now, just frustrated and so on. Just put that emotion aside and have a fresh mind. Look at this encounter itself, right? Can you do better, right? So that is the first step. And what are the potential strategies that you could to go through some of this encounter? And I'm going to share with you the tips to improve your time to live, because I think through a lot of conversation with my friends, through looking at all the gears and so on, through all the questions and so on, time to live is basically what is stopping you from gaining this success when it comes to cosmic gates, all right? It's very seldom I hear that people cannot pass this gate because they exceed the timer. Usually they exceed the timer because they spend too much time kiting, recuperating health and not dealing enough DPS. if you could sustain the kind of like damage and regain the kind of health, you are actually gaining on the whole entire timer. So I will address a lot on the time to live, all right? And even if you really can't, get through the gates with your favorite hero, I'm going to share with you some tips how to farm for cosmic gates, all right? So I'm just here to help you. And if you found this useful, and you may not need it, but if you found that some friends may need it, please pass this video across. And don't give up on your favorite hero, because I heard this a lot of time and it kind of break my heart in some sense, because some of you are saying that, well, I love this hero a lot, but I know no way he or she can pass the gate, so I'm going to play Dr. Doom, No, I mean, it shouldn't be the case. I think all of us should have a right to play our favorite hero. And, that is why we enjoy this game, and not just play a hero that excel in the end game. And, yeah, so I'm here to help, all right? So the first part of the video is about the encounter, walkthrough, and the potential strategies, okay? So the first thing you come to here, the first wave is the Hydra Wave. The white mobs, I'm not going to talk about it because those are non-elite. You should be able to withstand some of this projectile damage and so on, all right? And the... When the brawler comes on board, they have all this arrow. Just try to pay attention to arrow, because if you got stunned, you lose time, and every second matters. You may not be killed by all this bunch of brawler, but if you get stunned, you lose time. All right. So as a range, probably is easier. Summon is easiest, but as a melee, you have to watch where you stand. That's very important. And in the event whereby you get stunned, prepare to break it, because you must use your CC power, crowd control breaker, to break it off and continue to do DPS. So that's my tips to you. And after that, the mag comes in. I think the mag is all right. Just pay attention to the red circle. That is where the whole bombardment comes in. But it depends on how comfortable you are with the hero. Some hero can just ignore this mechanism. You are the best judge in it. But these mags tend to spread out a little bit. Now, not all heroes, I can tell you. I mean, I play all the heroes. I know some heroes struggle to erase all these things around. And if you happen to play one of those heroes, just make sure you spread the damage over time if you can, while you focus on one by one. So, you must eliminate them one by one, but then, just keep the pressure on spreading the damage over time. Not because the sooner this number reduces, the less damage you will receive. So, pay attention to all this motor, but more importantly, just try to eliminate all these fast as you can, but focus on one-to-one, all right? So if you see one is just a little bit health, you may move on to the other mob to let the damage over time do its job, or if not, just kill it off, all right? Because it's taking a toll on your health. Hullbuster is the hardest part of the encounter, of the entire encounter, I think, even harder than the Red Skull part of it. Hullbuster hits very hard on melee range. It does a very strong range damage as well. If your hero can use stun, save the stun for Hullbuster. If your hero can have like a irresistible stun, use it. You must avoid all the melee hits because it's very punishing. You must avoid the range hit as well. All right, and this is the part whereby your team up may die, and just be prepared to summon the team up again if that's so. So this wave is very hard. If you find that you hit the rope brick wall, you keep trying and can't get through, I would suggest when Madam Hydra comes up, use the ultimate. Try to burn them all using your ultimate. Try, all right? So because you can only use one ultimate, you can either use it on Hydra or use it on Red Skull. But if this is your roadblock, unblock it. Ultimate it, and see how it goes, all right? At least you get through one part of the hurdle, and then we can talk about the next part later, all right? But if you can save your ultimate, save it. Now, Madam Hydra, if you play with the Axis one-shot story, same mechanism, it will do a shield on herself, then the bodyguard comes in. Now, the beauty of having a team-up is a team-up usually would be around the Madam Hydra, and the team-up will probably taking the Madam Hydra shot because the bullet shot is very strong from Madam Hydra. If you suddenly see your health dropping by like 25% or half, each shot, that means that your team up probably dead. So you prepare to sort of like, resummon your team up, get rid of the bodyguard, because that is pretty harsh. Try not to stand. Try to pay attention where the team up stands. So do not align yourself with the team up and take the bullet together, right? That's just not necessary. So pay attention to all these things, positioning and whatnot. Just get rid of the bodyguard and keep damaging Madam Hydra when the shield is off. All right. So that is my only advice to you. It's very hard when it comes to Harbaska and this one. As for the Red Skull, right? Red Skull to me is actually easier than the Madam Hydra. So you'll come up with all these like troopers here. The trooper does nothing much. It's like you raise a shield, and then if you hit them from the front, I think that you'll deal lesser damage. If you hit them from the back, it's actually better. All right, so you can gauge it yourself. And the other thing about the trooper is that they would you can pay attention to the animation. They will actually start to come up and start shooting. That is the time when you should move around to dodge some of the bullets. So don't just stand there and get hit by all the troopers. Just move around during the time. And if you can, hit them from behind. Don't hit them at where the shield is raised. But other than that, they are not dealing a lot of damage. It's just annoying. It's just like if you don't kill them fast enough, another wave will come in, and then another wave will come in, and then Red Skull will come in, right? So when the mech come down, right? Now mech is actually quite hard because they have this locked on, but it's not as hard as Hellbuster on the other wave. All right. When the thing is locked on you, there are a couple of things you can do. You can either stun them if you can, then everything's stunned, remove the lock, continue your DPS. You can go line of sight as well, because there are some area like a barrier around that the area that you could just go around it, and then they will lose the lock on, and you can continue to do your damage that way. My suggestion to you is that try to take them out one by one fast, and whenever lock on, pay attention to your health and so on. If you could stun them. If you could go invisible, stealth, whatnot, just lose the lock on. That is my advice to you, right? So, and at last the Sentinel comes with the Red Skull. Now Sentinel itself is not that bad. In fact, Red Skull is also not that bad. But if you get stunned by Sentinel and then Red Skull shoot you with either the red bin, which is like area of damage over time, or the bullet whatnot, that usually will kill your hero, because you can't get stunned and then get hit by Red Skull. So my suggestion to you is that when the Sentinel does the bin like this one, don't stand in the bin. Hope that the team up take it, but you don't stand on the bin to continue to get burned by the Sentinel. If the Sentinel has a red circle around it, usually the red circle doesn't do a lot of damage. It is the stun that's annoying. So be prepared to get out and go back in again when the red circle come, and pay attention to where the Red Skull is spraying the gun. So when Red Skull is spraying the gun, move away. When it does the red cone, move away. That one hits quite a fair bit, all right? And then if you have saved the ultimate on the previous encounter, you may consider using the ultimate when Red Skull comes in, because usually you will still have some mechs around, and then you can use the ultimate to clear off all the mech and just face Red Skull, and you should pass the whole thing, all right? So now, in the event whereby you don't pass, you have to diagnose yourself what has gone wrong, right? So very often, more often than not, is because your health is low, or you take too much damage, and so on. So the following slides give you some idea on how to improve upon that, and hope that with that improvement, you could win the game, all right? So the first thing first, a lot of people I talk to, believe it or not, they still think that Team Up 2.0 is not up to par. Actually, it's not. Team Up 2.0 is great. Use them as companion because when they are out, 10% of incoming damage go to Team Up. So that is one thing great. Also, Team Up can distract because when there are you and a Team Up around, the bosses and the mobs are not upon you all the time. They are actually attacking both you and the Team Up, and the Team Up has much more health than you have. So so use the Team Up as like someone to soak up all this damage. All right. So don't leave Team Up as a passive and use the buff thinking that DPS is. In Cosmic Gate, DPS is not king, right? Leave is king. Right, so yeah, so just remember that team up is great. Use team up, and then after that, there are some team up gear that if you have this, you probably win the whole encounter. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? So unless they say, well, you can't use team up in the gate, then I'll say, wow, that's going to be really hard. But if you can use a med kit and your team ups go back to 100% health, you basically win the whole thing, because there's no need for you to resummon the whole thing. And you can use your team up to soak a lot of damage and so on, right? So if you have gear like that, just use it, and to dedicate this team up to be the team up of choice when you tackle Cosmic Gate for all your heroes. All right. So I usually have one team up that has all the nice yellow affixes to make them the team up of choice whenever I do something like a Cosmic Gate, all right, or any hard content really. All right, so another thing to pay attention is the costume. I don't know, believe it or not everyone pay attention to the costume. I've seen friends who has 0 affixes on their costume, just a lousy core, whatever core it is for the 25% rare item found or so on. No, roll some decent affixes onto your costume. If you can afford to have 2 costumes, for me, because I buy packs, so I have 2. But if you cannot afford, prestige your hero, get a free default costume. So that if you really can't pass a gate and you really need that extra health, because if you add the health up on my costume, it's actually quite a lot. I lose on DPS, but so what? Usually to win the Cosmic Gate, you just need health. Okay, and then always get 1 core that regenerate 25% of your health. Whether you get invulnerable or not it's not a must. I mean, I've got heroes that has no this invulnerable kind of buff to it, which is fine. But at least get one that gives you 3,000 back. All right, so that is important. The costume core, get some decent one to it. Get a grade 60, level 60 costume core, and roll the nice affixes on your costume. If you find that you are hitting the brick wall, give the hero that much health. It helps, all right? And then don't underestimate the crowd control power, because I know a lot of you just all out for DPS, right? Just crazy on DPS. I totally understand, you guys love the big number, but if you follow my guides, right? My guides always is a balanced guide, because I always give you a clip onto the Cosmic Patrol, because it's important not only to do one thing, but you have to excel on other things as well. So my heroes always have 2 set of gears, 1 DPS, 1 for health, and then whenever possible, like the Shi-Hao, I actually have it on my hotbar, because if you put it onto your hotkey or bar tool, you forget to use it. So to me, it's very important to be able to stun every 15 seconds for 3.7 seconds, right? So don't underestimate all this power. Like decoy for Ant-Man, you can create decoy there. The decoy doesn't do much. You probably just put 1 point in it, but it's great because with the decoy, a lot of time the mobs are not hitting you because it's taunting the mobs. And a lot of heroes have all this kind of power. Magneto also have the same, like you can stun the whole thing. I think it's irresistible. So many heroes have that kind of power. Use it, put it on the hotbar, because that is going to save you, through this gate. Passive. I know if you read a lot of other guys online or in the forum, they always say that some passive does not scale well. So they put only 1 point in health or those kind of like passive. I do not disagree, because if you use it to farm Cosmic Terminal, you do not need that much health, right? Because the fight is over less than 10 seconds. But when you do something like Cosmic Gate or Cosmic Patrol, you need every single piece of health you can. With health, you win. Basically, the bottom line is how much health you have, right? Well, I mean, it's one ingredient for winning. So it's important to gain the health, defense, especially projectile deflection chance, because that is one thing that a lot of heroes don't have it, but if you have it, max it, all right? A lot of people ask, like, should I gear for defense? My defense is only 42%, can I gear for 50%? Now, I can tell you honestly, there is a diminishing return on defense. You could go all out to gear for defense. You still will not leave if you have low health. There's no point in gearing for defense, all right? Let whatever you have, if you have done your defense, through the passive, if you have done the gear, the unique, so on for the hero, that's all you can do for defense. Don't worry about too much about gearing for defense. And definitely not dodge. Dodge does not help the hero. What kills you is the spike, and dodge does not help your spike. Dodge is a rubbish affix in this game, all right? So pet can increase health as well, because like +8 base health, and also some artifact, some medallion as well, and artifact as well. So I would propose to you, if you don't have another costume, but you say, I still want to play this game, I still want to do affixes, I still want to do cosmic gates, use a medallion, give you health. Like, this one give quite a fair bit of health and defense. Use it. You lose DPS, so what? You lose like 5% DPS. At the end of the day, it's not that's going to help you. Yeah, and hero synergy, pick some of those health one. Projectile deflection, like Captain America, if you have it. Luke Cage has defense, and Hulk has health. Luke Cage have health, I think, or defense, can't remember. So use those one to your advantage. All right. So even if you have low Omega points, so a lot of people say I have low Omega point. What can I do? Right? Consider blob. Omega node. The beauty of this node is that for 15 points you gain 1 rank, and every rank you gain there's no escalation of cost, right? It's just flat cost. Every rank is 15 points. You can do up to 25 times of it, and it's wonderful because it all adds up. It gives you the health, if you could give you a defense at the expense of dodge. But remember what I say, dodge is rubbish. So try your best to up your health. If you really can't, try this node. It will help you with the extra boost to it. I always, you read my guide, I always look for SO2 because it gives me a little bit of health. No need to overdo it. And I also like Forever Compound as well because a little bit of health regen. So something for you to consider when it comes to Omega node. If you're low Omega point, doesn't matter. All this node does not cost you too much, all right? So, okay, so when all have failed, I play my Ant-Man. I just got it to fresh level 60, and I open some of the boxes, I get some of the unique, but I can't get slot 2 uniques. I only have like a very lousy cosmic yellow item. So what can I do? I get a slap there. Now, a lot of people were laughing at me in the whole super group, and we were having a good fun and chat about it, But seriously, look at the amount of health there, 5,000 health, right? My Ant-Man is, when I went into a cosmic trial, my Ant-Man has 35.7 thousand health. Guess how it went? Of course it went fine, right? Because if you have that much health, you're fine. You're really fine, really. So anyway, so that is all the advice I can give you. Although it's a very extreme, I'm not asking you to get 35,000 health. Please don't take it as advice. But at least don't have it like 16 or 18,000. Get higher, 22, 24. If you can, at least you can survive the cosmic gate. All right. So here are some short tips to improve on your time to kill. Not going to go overboard here because it is a whole new topic, and I think I think a lot of you are very good at the time to kill. You have been watching my video, you have been reading the forum, so on and so forth. So my only advice to you is that know your hero, because that's important. Know the rotation as well. The build matters. So pick a build that you can execute, and pick a build that does a reasonable amount of damage. All right. 4 blessing helps a lot because that's instant. Legendary, you need time to level, but blessing is just instant. All right. So even if your artifact is not wonderful, later on you can swap it out. So have 4 blessing, all right? Push above 40% crit. I'm not asking a lot. 50% is for veterans and above, all right? So if you can get beyond 40% crit with your blessing, you probably another 40 or 50% brutal. You're doing okay on the time to kill, all right? It's good enough for Cosmic Gate. And consider a legendary if you have the Odimar, because that will help. No need to be rank 5, but if you hit rank 5, it's good. And enchant the slot 1 to 5 with the appropriate affixes. Like for instance, you can get a plus 50 for slot 1 and 5, or summoner is plus 5 summoner, but summoner has no problem with Cosmic Gate. And after that, 2, 3, 4, you can give health to it, so that will help everything. Every bit of health help. All right. So, and the last one is that, if you really can't get through the gate, what can you do? How can you farm gear to get there? again, something very short to show you. Monday they always have a Midtown Madness event. Go for it because it's a lot of like drops for you, a lot of very nice boxes. You open it. Go Industrial City Patrol, even if it is not not the cosmic version. I do see unique coming up from them. Do some of the events such as Odin, some Odin boxes event. Those are very good. Now, don't need to worry too much about Omega Point, right? Because I know some of you are very low in Omega Point. I can totally understand. It will be harder, but it's not impossible. All right. Exchange some of the unique. You can get 4 identical unique. Exchange to a hero unique and see whether you can hit the spot or not. And then after that, if you have Odin mark, go for the blessing and the legendary. Work your way through the 66 and 69 upgrade. All right. So. The very last thing I'd like to just share with you is that, just don't give up on your favorite hero, because your hero deserves a chance. And, to get through a gate, he or she needs you. So, if you still have problem after all these things that you've gone through, after all these slides that you've read and whatnot, say, oh my God, I still can't get through a gate. Can you help me? Do look me up in the game. You can get me Lays. And I will do my best to show you, or look at your gear and so on to just give you some other ideas on how to get through a gate. But please don't give up because, this game is great. I hate the Cosmic Gate as much as some of you may do. Even though I don't really have a lot of problem going through that. I really hate it because it speed up all my friends and, that is just not the spirit of the game. But that's a story for another day, so I'm not going to talk too much about Cosmic Gate. And hope you enjoy this video and pass it along. All right, see you next time. Bye.